how we can start form. You will start the HTML form by typing form tag. By typing form tag. Look at the Word file. Students, look at the Word file. Okay, you will start with the form tag. Okay. In the form tag, for example, assume you are going to create a text box. Okay, you're going to create text box. Text box for what? Text box to enter user name. Okay. So you will write form, as I said during last lecture. Inside the form, you may write many attributes. Okay. But we are not going to see about the attributes. After we saw about each and every control, then we will see about the attributes what you can use within the form tag. Okay. But how will you start form, HTML form? By typing form tag. Okay. Now assume that as a first form control, I want to display input box. Okay, to enter the username. So you can give some label for that text box. Otherwise, only the text box will be visible. Okay. Those who are visiting your web page, they will not know what should be entered inside that text box. Okay. So if you give label, that would be better. Okay. So how will you give the label? Your aim is to create the text box, but you have to give the label for the text box. Okay. You want that the label should be displayed first and then followed by the text box. Assume. Okay. However you want, you can create, but we are assuming, then only we can see the code. Okay. So to create the label for the username, we have label tag. Okay. And within the label tag, nothing is a mandatory attribute. Within the label tag, nothing is mandatory attribute. Okay. But you can use some optional attributes such as for. Okay. Now for what you will give inside the for attribute as value of the for attribute, you can give in which control, for which control you have to give the label. Okay. For that control's ID. Okay. Now this is the control for which I want to create this label. Okay. So in this code for this control, I will write ID attribute. Okay. ID equal to, here this is user defined. So anything you can give, I have given username. Okay. ID equal to username. So now what is the value of this ID attribute? That you will give value for attribute in label tag. Okay. This both should be exactly same. So for username you have given, and then here what you want to display. This is a label actually, label text. Okay. So I want to display username colon and then followed by what? My text box. To display the text box, what you will write? You will write input tag. You will write a type attribute. And inside the type attribute, you have to give text. Why text? Because you're going to create text box. You're going to create text box. So you will give text. Okay. And you will give name for this text box. Name for this text box. Okay. Now, why we have to give name for the text box? Of course, name attribute is not mandatory attribute of input tag. Okay, it's optional only. Which is mandatory attribute of input tag? Type. Type attribute is mandatory. You have to write type attribute. Without type attribute, you should not write input tag. Okay. But this name, ID, these are what? Optional attributes. If you want, you can write. Otherwise, you no need to write it. Okay, but when we have to write this name and ID attributes, Here I want to identify the element because the for attribute will accept only the value of ID attribute. So that I have given ID attribute here. Okay. Then why we have to give name attribute? Name attribute here we are going to see only HTML. So dummy form we are going to create. We are not going to create a dynamic form, HTML form. Okay. Why? To create a dynamic HTML form, we have to add the server-side scripting or client-side scripting. Okay, till now we did not study the client-side or server-side scripting, so that I'm showing to create only dummy form. After we learn that, then we will embed in the same form the JavaScript and then PHP code. Okay. So now name attribute. Name attribute will you will give unique name for each and every element. For example, within one form, it's not necessary you have to use only one text box. Okay, you may use more than one number of text boxes also. Okay, so in that case, when you use JavaScript or PHP, you have to identify which text box. Okay, whether it is a first text box or second text box, if you use multiple text boxes in your form. So when you use multiple text boxes or multiple elements, same element, then you have to use name to uniquely identify each and every input tag. Okay, so we used name tag, and even the value of the name tag is also user defined, anything you can give. Okay, so I have given name attribute, and I have given, though I no need to give name attribute here, I have given, okay, ID attribute, you know why we have given it. Okay, now this will create a single element. Okay, now I just copy from the form and fill the code of the text box. Okay, and I'm going to paste in the Word file. Okay, so I open the form tag, label I have given, and the text box code I have written. I have to close the form tag. I close to the form tag. Okay, let us see, will this display anything in the output? I just refresh the output. I am scrolling down and I see username colon. Now this got displayed because within the label you have given this. Okay, so now this is a label for this text box. Okay, now to display the text box, you have written this code. To display the text box, this is a line of the code. To display the label for the text box, this is the line of code you have written. Okay. Okay, so now we got label and also text box. Now inside the text box, you can write, as it is a name, you're writing what? Name. Okay, you can write the name. Okay. Now next, look at the next element. Now this displayed, text box displayed, within this text box, you can write a line of text. Okay, you did not limit how many characters. You did not limit what is the size of the text box. Okay, so single line text you can input using the text box. Now if I want to add one more element in the form, in HTML form, for example, text area, I want to give multiple lines of text. Using text box, we can enter only single line of text, but I want to enter multiple lines of text. For example, I want to get feedback from my end user. So feedback control I want to create. So feedback control, how will you create? Using the text area tag. Okay, text area tag. Now this label is as it is, like before. Okay, label for, there is a ID here. Okay. Why? Because in the text area tag, I used ID equal to address. So the same address value I have given here for. Okay. And here what I want to display as label, and then I close the label tag. That's it. Then I have to create the actual element, form element or form control. Okay. Students, where if I say form element, form control, form tag, everything denotes same. Okay. So text area is a form element or form control I want to create. Okay, so I have a separate tag for that, which is called the text area. It should be written like this without space, without leaving space in between text and area. Okay, so this is text area.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
can you explain why do we use text area then?
Text area, now listen here. After you saw the output of the text area, it would be clear. See now here in this text box, you can create single line of text. Okay. Suppose multiple lines of text you want to display. Then you have to use what? Text area. For example, feedback. When you get feedback, you should allow the end user to type more than one number of lines. Okay. So in that case, you have to create a text area. Okay. So text area, rows and calls are mandatory attribute. Okay. Name, as usual, we will give for this control also, text area control also. ID for this for attribute you have given here, and your closing text area. Now, what is the rows and calls in the attributes in the text area? Rows attribute will say how many number of rows should be displayed. How many number of rows in the text box should be visible to the end user. Okay. So 3 rows text area I want to create. Okay. 3 number of rows text area I want to create. Okay. Now in single line, here there are 3 rows. Okay. In single row, how many number of maximum characters should be allowed? 30. So this denotes column. Okay. So rows, in every row, how many number of columns? In another way, another words I can say, in single row, how many number of characters? Both denote same. I repeat, in single row, how many number of characters? Okay. And in single row, how many number of columns? Both denote same. Okay. So rows and calls you have to give. The value of rows and calls will denote number of rows and number of characters per row. Number of characters per row, respectively. Okay. Okay. Now we will add this. Students, the good practice is when you're creating form, one by one you have to add the element. Even now everything, or the form element code I have written here, everything if I copy and paste here, if you did not get any one, then it is difficult to find out where you made a mistake. Okay. So one after another, gradually if you add the elements, then if it is not working, then definitely the mistake will be there in that 2 lines of code. You can easily what? Find the error. Okay, that's why one by one you have to add the code when you're writing the code to create form. Okay. Okay. Now I copied and I'm going to paste where I have to paste before closing the form. Okay. All the form elements should come between opening and closing form tag. Remember. Okay. Just by leaving one space, I add the code to display the text area. I added label and text area. I have to save and I will execute. See now address went here. Okay. Maybe if you resize. Now see here username, small text box, single line text box. Address multiple lines text box. Okay, here 2 rows of text you can enter. Even you can enter more than that also, but at a time only 3 rows of text will be visible. Okay, if you count after typed number of characters in a single line, that would be 30 characters. Why it is so? Because yes.
मैम अगर हमको यूजर नेम के नीचे लिखना रहेगा एड्रेस तो क्या करना है?
Break you have to give, of course. Break you have to give, but listen here. Giving break after each and every element. Please, all of you listen. Giving break after each and every element. Okay, or wherever you want to get the line break. Many times giving the break and using tables to align the form. All apart from these 2 options, we have another option also, using the field set tag. We can align the form very nicely. Okay, so now roughly, all of you listen. Roughly, I am creating and displaying the form elements without giving break, or not within the table, without using table. But after we displayed all the forms, I will show you how to properly align the form element. Okay, I will tell you using new attributes, new tags, how can we easily align the forms. Okay, but remember there are other options also. For example, now I have written the username and the text box code, right? Now, if I have given break here, because where you want to break, this address should come in the next line. So before writing the code of the address, I have to give BR tag. Then automatically what will happen? This control will come next line. Okay, like that also I can do. But the efficient and easy way I will show you after I executed all the form elements. Okay. Okay. Now text area we have displayed. Now one password box. Sorry. Label tag. This to display this. Otherwise, if you did not give the label tag, if you did not use label tag, that means if you don't want to display this username, this is a label for this text box. If you don't want to display the label, then you will not use the label tag. Here, you don't want to give the label for the text area, then you will not use label tag. Okay. Is this clear? I know, I understand what you're coming to say. You are saying without using the label for and all, directly you will write username and then you will write the, you will write directly name of the, you can start directly the input tag, right? You want to write like this, right? Username, that's it. Okay, the first line should not come. That's your question, right? But that is not the proper way. You will get the username before this, but that is not the proper way to display the content. Okay, the proper alignment, proper hooking between the label and the respective element. If you want to get, then you have to use the label tag. Okay, even within the body tag, without writing any, one second, I will move to body tag. Within this body tag, students, all of you listen. Within the body tag, without writing any tag, I can write a paragraph. Okay, it will be displayed, but it will not the proper way to display the paragraph. We have a tag for that. So paragraph should be aligned by taking its own default format. Okay. So we are using the paragraph tag to display the paragraph. though we can directly write the content text directly without using any tag within the body, we use the respective tag. Okay, got it?
Ma'am, even tell why we use ID tag.
Students, what happened? What I'm explaining is not clear. You couldn't hear. My voice is not audible. Because last lecture also I explained that, and now also when I start, I explained what is the use of ID. And again, you're raising the questions. May I know what is the difficulty? Students, after explaining many times, same question coming from you. Why? I want to know the reason. Students, I just want to know the reason. Whether my voice is not audible or you couldn't follow my explanation, or you are not attentive in the class, or you joined very late. What happened? Not one question, there are many questions again and again, which I explained on that you are asking. May I know the reason? Because as a teacher, I have to know the reason. If any fault is there in my side, I have to what? I have to find. For that I'm asking. Please let me know. Students, I'm asking to you. Please let me know. Anybody joined just before? What happened? No reply. Any difficulties? Students, I'm expecting reply from you.
No, ma'am, no difficulty.
No, my voice is audible because I'm doubting. What I'm saying should reach you, no?
Yes, ma'am, you are
Yes,
audible.
ma'am, you're
Audible,
audible.
ma'am.
Then why again and again same doubt after explaining many times? Students, the font size is enough to see? The font size is enough to read, or it is too small?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now what is the use of the why we have to use ID attribute? Any one of you? Apurva, can you answer? Apurva? Why we have to use ID attribute here? Yes, Apurva. Pages. Why we have to use ID attribute here?
Hello,
yes,
ma'am.
Yes, Apurva, I can hear you.
Ma'am, for number, unique number or address.
address.
Actually, ma'am, unique number, I think so.
Why you have to think? Why you have to doubtful after I explain?
No, ma'am.
And yes. I think so. Why it should come from your mouth? I think so.
Sorry, ma'am.
Sajeev. Sajeev. Here, why we are using ID tag? Sorry, ID attribute. Here, why we have to use ID attribute? Sajeev. Sajeev, Tejas, both of you are there?
Yes, ma'am. I am there, Tejas.
Okay, Tejas, why we have to use ID attribute here?
To assign unique ID.
This your Google will say. Okay, I am asking from my explanation. That is generic. ID attribute will be used to uniquely identify the element that you might have seen from Google. Now I'm asking here why the ID attribute is mandatory. Why you have to use ID attribute here? Sajeev, I want your reply. Sajeev. Sajeev went to on hold. Okay. So asking to somebody. Okay. We will call Anto Selvin Jebin. Anto. Anto, here why we have to use ID attribute? Of course, ID attribute is not mandatory, but here why we have to use? Will we link with anything using ID attribute here? Anto? So now Sajeev is not there, so he is not need to be unnecessarily in the meeting. Anto? Yes, Anto. Anto Selvin. You have unmuted, but you are not saying any answer.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, HTML, in HTML, this is not mandatory, but this is used backend languages like PHP, because with that input we can store somewhere, or else we can do anything.
So that's what I said about ID attribute. I said that about name attribute, right? I am asking about now ID attribute.
Ma'am, ID is a unique thing, so we can use it in CSS also or something. It's unique.
Okay, that already we saw about the core attributes. Okay, ID is one of the core attributes, but we moved to another chapter, form. In the form, we are using ID attribute. Okay, now here I'm repeating I'm losing the complete energy in your class here. I don't know why your batch is behaving like this. Okay, whatever question I ask from the net only, your answer will come. Except a few students. So why are you not listening? Intentionally, I'm not recording also nowadays. Then also you're not listening. All of you, please listen, pay attention here. I am asking why we are using ID attribute here. In this code context, why we are using ID attribute? Here we are using ID attribute because we want to link this with the for attribute of label tag. We are using ID attribute in the element form element because this element should be linked with its respective label through for attribute. Okay, so you are linking that using ID attribute, you are linking its respective label that controls the form controls or form elements respective label you are giving link. So that here you have to use ID attribute. If you did not use ID attribute, if you would have given for, it will not work. Okay. Okay. So text area. That also I doubt whether many of you listen or not. Students, what is the difference between text box and text area? One of you, text box and text area.
Text area is to write more number of lines.
Yes, more number of lines of text you can give us input using text area. But using text box, you can give only single line of text as input. You can give single line of text as input. Good. Okay, we displayed text area. Now we want to display, this is also text box, but we will call this as a password box because in the text box, inside the text box, when you type whatever character you're typing, that will be visible to whom typing it. Okay, but password box, if you create, wait, one second, I will paste the copied content. Okay, here also like previous controls, we are creating label and then text area, creating control and then text area, input tag. With the use of the type attribute, you are creating a password box. Okay, so value of the type should be password. When you create a text box, see here, input, type, you have written inside the type text. Okay, so text is the value of the type attribute. Okay, to create a text box. Now password should be the value of the type attribute when you create password box. Okay, when you create text box, the value of the type attribute should be text. When you create password box, the value of the type attribute should be password. Okay, remember this text, password. All these are predefined keywords. All these are predefined keywords. Okay, now this password, that means the value of the type attribute should be predefined. So instead of password, if you have given passwd, it will not work. If you have given p-word, it will not work. Even password 1, if you change this, then it will not work. It will not create a password box. Okay. So please remember the value of the type attribute are predefined, not user defined. That means you can't give anything here, whatever you want. Okay. But here value of the name attribute and value of the ID attributes and all user defined. Anything you can give. Remember. Okay. See the output. Password. Now when I type my name, what I am typing will not be visible to the user. Okay. So each and every character will be replaced by asterisk. Okay. So that is default property of the password box. This is happening only because of you have given password here. Okay. If you have given text here, only the text box will be displayed. Okay. Okay. So we have created the password box. Okay. Now we can create radio button. We can create radio button. Can anyone of you say what is the difference between radio button and text box? Radio button and text box. Difference between radio button and text box. Any one of you? Yes, Alok, you can answer.
Yes, ma'am. In text box we can write, and in radio button we can select it.
I asked the difference between checkbox and a radio button. Checkboxes and radio buttons. Difference between checkbox and radio button. Okay, that is the only difference. That's correct. That's correct. But is that
Hello,
only? Yes.
Ma'am, in checkbox, multi-selections are allowed, whereas in radio button, only single selection is allowed.
Very good, Ifat. Very good. So if you create, that is depending on your requirement, you have to select whether you want radio button or checkbox. So checkbox, if you have created multiple options, you can select. Okay. But radio button, if you have created any one of the radio buttons only at a time, your end user can select. Okay. For example, to display gender, you are giving male, female, or even transgender. Okay. These are the 3 radio buttons you have created under gender. Okay. So any user of this form can select any one of this option. Okay. So person cannot select I am a male and also female. If so, they have separate option, transgender. They have to select. If you are a female, you have to select a female. If you are male, you have to select a male. Okay. So any one only, the control itself will allow you to select. Okay. If you try to select more than one option using radio button, what will happen? For example, you selected female and then you are trying to select male. What will happen? The moment when you click male, the previous selection will be disabled, deselected. Okay. So currently what you select, any one of the option only it will allow you to select. Okay, that is a radio button. That is a default property of radio button. Any one of the given options only you can select at a time. Okay. But in a checkbox, for example, you want to create hobbies. Okay. So a person may have more than one number of hobbies. So you should, as a developer, you should allow to select more than one number of options. So in that case, you will use what? Checkbox. Remember,
Checkbox.
checkbox you will find. So now what I have created radio button. Radio means only one option. Okay, it will allow only one option. Okay, so we will see how we can create radio button. Of course, again input tag, type equal to radio. Now here this type is very mandatory attribute that will only say which type of control, form control you want to select. Here type text, created text box. Here type password, created password box. Here type equal to radio is creating radio button. Okay, so type equal to radio you have given. Okay, you are giving name as a gender, anything you can give with respect to your content, your radio button content. So here we are going to display gender. So we have given gender as a name, and ID we have given as male. Okay, I will tell you why name and ID. Okay, and then we have created label. Why here label? First the code to display the radio button and then label. Because I want to display like this. First radio button ka circle should come, and after that the label should come. Okay. Suppose that is a usual one. Okay. But if I want that first label should come and then the radio button and then this code, this line will come before the previous line. Okay. Here you don't get confused, please. Okay. So where the label should be displayed, depending on that, the label tag you have to use. The position is very important. The sequence of writing code is very important in HTML, because accordingly only the web page content will be displayed. Okay. So I want to display the circle, the radio button first, and then I want to write the respective label. Okay. That's why this change, remember. Okay. So input type equal to radio, ID. Here for, within the for I'm going to use, so I used ID, and then name attribute to uniquely identify the radio button. Even within the single radio button, you can use more set of radio buttons in single form, in a single HTML page, in a single HTML or in a single HTML program, you can use more than one number of radio buttons, more than one set of radio buttons. That should be the proper word. More than one set of radio buttons you can use. So each and every set of radio button should be uniquely identified, so that you are using name equal to gender. Okay. But ultimate use of this, even if you did not write this also properly, whatever you want will be displayed. Okay. What is the use of this? To embed later with the PHP and JavaScript. Remember. Okay, so now label for the value of the ID attribute, and then what I want to display here, what I want to display as a label that I have given male, and then I close the label. Okay, then again I am another radio button for female. The previous one is for male and this next one is for female. So female, again the same way, type equal to radio, name equal to gender, ID equal to female. Students, please observe, this is one set of radio button. Why I am saying this one set of radio button? Because this radio button I am creating to display the gender. Okay, within the gender there will be two radio buttons. One is male, another one is female. Okay, this is one set of radio button. Okay. Now, how can I uniquely identify this as a one set of radio button using this? Now, by seeing this code itself, you will find out. Remember, please listen, pay attention here. This is very important what I'm going to say. To display the male radio button, I used, when I highlight, all the name is getting highlighted. That's the issue. Here I will see. Okay. So to display the female radio button, I used name equal to gender. To display the male radio button, I use name equal to gender. That means using the name attribute, I am identifying male and female both are belonging to one set of radio button. Okay, so name value of the name attribute should be same here. That's mandatory. Okay, note down, students, note down. Okay, when you create radio button, within the single set of radio button, all the radio buttons name value should be same. This should also be gender. This should also be gender. Suppose if you have given here gender 1, what it will denote? It denotes this one, the male is belonging to a different setup, one set of radio button. The female is belonging to different set of radio button in the same HTML form. Okay, so that is not your intention. Under the gender, both should come, male and female should come. So both should be given same name, I hope you all noted. Okay. Okay, now I save and I will see how the radio button look like. See here, radio buttons. So first the button, code for the button, and then the code for label, and then code for button, and then code for label. Okay. So how the radio button got displayed? Please listen. Because of this line, the first radio button. Because of this line, I displayed this circle, this radio button. Okay. Because of this line of code, I got this output. Okay. Because of this line of code to display the female radio button, I got this output. Okay. And because of this line of code, I got this label for the female radio button. Okay. That's why 4 lines of code here. Okay. Okay. Now I said you can select, if you use radio button, any one only you can select. Okay. I already selected female. Look at here. I am trying to select a female. I am clicking. What is happening? Automatically the previous selection got deselected. Okay. If I try to select this will be deselected. So it will allow you to select any one of the radio buttons. Okay. Okay. Then we will move to display the checkbox. Okay. Now checkbox, code for the checkbox. You know what is the use of the checkbox in HTML form? To give the option to select more than one options. Very good. More than one options in a web page inside the form. Okay. I just copy paste the code of the checkbox. Okay. Now look at here. This is a code of checkbox. 1 second. There are students in lobby. Okay. Sorry, anybody said anything? Whom you are saying to say? Okay, now checkbox. Look at the code to display the checkbox. Input type. Here the value of the type should be checkbox. Okay, so you have to remember for text box only text, you should not write text box. Many of the students will write type equal to text box to display the text box. But remember, you have to type only text if you want to create a text box. Okay, but if you want to create checkbox, you should not write only check. You will write checkbox without leaving space. That's very important because this is predefined. Okay, so I want to create a checkbox first. So I have written the code to display the checkbox at first. Okay, so input type checkbox, name as usual, some name, ID, some ID. Okay, and then label for the first text box. Soccer is my first text box. So label for that text box should be the value of the ID attribute. Now these two are same, this and this two are same. Okay, and then what label I want to display. This can be anything. It's not necessary these three should be same. Okay, now this label can be anything you can write. Okay. So now only one text box with the label I have created, but I want to create another text box, which is input type checkbox, name, sports, ID, cricket. Okay. And next line label for that. For attribute should have the value of the ID attribute. Yes, I have given. And this is the label which I want to see in my web page. Yes, I have written, and then I'm closing the label. Now I have created two checkboxes with the label, with the respective label. And then third checkbox to display the baseball, and then its respective label. Okay. Now look at here. Here also the value of the name attribute. Value of the name attribute of all the text boxes are same, which denotes this text box, all the soccer, cricket, baseball, all these check boxes are belonging to one checkbox, that is sports. Okay. We will save. Okay, execute, and we will see the output. Now see checkboxes. Radio button default shape is circle. Okay, checkbox default shape is square. Okay, here you can click to select any of the radio button option. But in checkbox, as name says, you can check. You will get the tick when you select. Now look at here, there are three checkboxes. All the three checkboxes, it is allowing me to select. Okay. If I want to deselect anything, again I have to click on the selection. So if I want this three, I can select 1, 2, or all. Okay. So that is the default property of checkbox. It will allow you to select more than one number of options. Okay. We will add a list box. We can select, we may have list box also. Okay. When you will use list box, any one of you think and say, when will you use list box? Wait, I copied and pasting the here tag. Okay, I saved the program. Students, when will you use list box? Or you can, there are many names for list box: option box, option item box, drop down box.
To list items.
Okay, list items. Instead of list box, can we use radio button? You can think in that way. Or instead of list box, can
No,
you
ma'am.
use check box?
Yes.
Of course, instead of list box, you can't use radio button. Okay. But instead of checkbox, can we use list box? Instead of checkbox, can we
Yes.
use list box? Okay. Now you are visiting one website. Okay, assume you are visiting a website. In that website you can select a course. Okay. You can select a course and then you can register for the course. Okay. So in the registration page of that web page, the registration page of that website, I have given option to select a HTML as one course, HTML as a separate course. JavaScript is another course. PHP is a third one. C is a fourth one. C++ will be the fifth one. Okay. Now, as a developer, among these three elements, form elements, which one will be the better one? I want to give the option to my end user to select any one of the courses. Okay. What are the courses I have? HTML as a separate course. JavaScript is another one, and PHP, and then C, and then C++. Among these five, any one of the course you can select. Assume, listen my condition. Any one of the course you can select. Any one of the course you can select. Okay, so, okay, you are saying we can use radio button. Okay, we will keep that as one of the answers. Okay, okay, anybody else? We can use a radio button. No other option. Can't we use list box? Can't we use list box for this? What's your name? Akhtar is your name. Can you pronounce your name? Kaifali. Sorry. Kaifali. Right? Kaifali, right? Pronounce again. Carefully. Okay. Carefully, you are thinking that we can't use drop-down box or list box for this. You said we can use radio button. Okay. Can't we use list box? We can use, right? Okay. Which one is a opt one? Proper one here. Ifat, you know the answer? Ifat.
I guess radio button, ma'am. Radio.
Radio button is a good option. Okay. Anybody else? Tanmay, can you try? Tanmay. Shweta.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I had a doubt.
Yes, Sajid.
In list box, do we have an option of selecting like many options, like to choose many
Yes,
options?
yes, we can make. That's one of the property in list box.
So if
That's-
we have to select just one option, then we will use radio button, right?
Okay. You don't think, you have to extend your thinking. Okay. You are saying that, okay, directly, if any one of the options should be selected, then we have to go for radio button. You should not think like that. in which situation to display which content we are using radio button. To display which content, which option we are using list box. To display which kind of options we are using checkbox. You have to think in that way.
Okay, so is
Students,
it like
simply, I expected answer, but I did not get expected answer from any one of you. Yes, Ajil, you can complete.
so is it like if we are selecting between the gender, there's only 3 options like male, female, and transgender. So for that we will use the this radio button. And if we are having a list of things like more than 5 to 6, then we will use the list box. Is that what you're saying?
That is okay. That is also right. But now I try to explain. Now radio button. Can you decide as a developer? Can you decide the gender? Can you decide the gender? The user can select as a gender as one option or multiple option. Can you, as a developer, it is on your hand. If you want, you can make the end user to select more than one gender also. Is this meaningful? No. Because that is always, if it is a gender, only one option should be selected. That the developer can't change. The developer can't what? Decide. Okay. But giving the options, multiple options like ASP, sorry, HTML, PHP, this and all, this is the developer can select. The developer can decide whether the end user can select one option or multiple option. Okay. So if the developer decide that only one option should be selected or multiple option should be selected, that will not sound like the gender. Okay. Of course, you can decide, a developer can decide whether one course should be selected or multiple courses should be selected. But gender, as a developer, you can't select one gender should be selected, can be selected, or multiple gender can be selected. That sounds like very... Okay. So you have to see the meaning with respect to context where you're using. Okay. So now with respect to this, I'm saying to display the gender, I should not use list box. Okay. To display the courses, I should not use radio button. I don't know how many of you are getting it, my view or not. Okay. So though the list box and radio button is allowing to select only one option, that is context sensitive to decide whether you can use radio button or list box. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So you can't say to display the list of courses, we can use radio button. No. Because when you use a radio button, the option should be definitely whichever developer is using, he has to give only one option only, which is generic. Okay, so gender, no one will give more to select more than one option. Okay. But courses, you can give option. That is depending on the developer. Developer's requirement and developer wish. If you want to give only one option to select the course, you can use the list box, or multiple options. You can select, you can decide. That is on your hand. But radio button content is not on your decision. That decision is not on your developer's hand. Okay. So you have to think among these three, which one will be suitable, and that you have to give. Okay, so that is the list box. So now code for list box. Now listen here. Till now to display the controls, form control, maximum we used the input tag. Okay. Only to display the text area we used what? Text area as a tag. Okay. Remember, to display the text area we did not use input tag. We did not use input tag to display the text area. Okay. We used a separate tag called text area. Okay. Other than that, till now whatever controls we saw, to display all the controls we used the input tag only. Okay. But now to display the list box, we can't use input tag. Remember, we have to use select tag. We have to use select tag to display the list box. Okay. Or drop down box or option box, anything. Okay. You can use select tag. Remember. Okay. So I'm giving label for the tag. Label for the list box, label for city and what I want to display, and then label. Okay. And within the select tag, this opening and closing select tag or container tag to display the option tag. Remember. Okay. So directly within the select tag, you will not write the list items. Okay. For example, first list item should be what? Sydney. The second one, Melbourne. And then Cornwall. Okay. So all these you can't display directly within the select tag. You have to use another tag which is called the option tag. Okay. So select tag is a container tag for the option tag. Okay. So select tag, then why I have to use a select tag? Look at here. All the options. Options are what? All the list items should be surrounded by opening and closing select tag. Okay. Within the select tag, I can use some attributes. Okay. For example, name, I used city. And name, in all the controls we are using. In all the controls we are using name attribute. Okay. ID we are using here because we want to link with the label tag. Okay. So here also city and here also city should come. Okay. Okay. And then within the opening select tag, to display each and every list item. Okay. List item or option. I have to use separate option tag. Okay. So option value equal to what? Any value I can give. This is user defined. And then what I want to display. Okay, as a list item. The list item, if you press the drop down box, all the list item will be visible, no? So which is the first list item? This is the first list item. Okay. So value, why you are giving? Why are you giving value here? Because I want to identify whether the user selected the first option or second option or third option. Okay. So I have to uniquely identify each and every option in a single list box. So that I'm giving, for that I'm giving value attribute. This value attribute will be very useful when I link this code with the JavaScript and PHP. Why? Because in JavaScript here we are only displaying the content. Using JavaScript and PHP, you will select which option selected by which user. Okay. Suppose this form had been filled by me first. So I would have selected Sydney as my city. Okay. Then it would be registered. It would be what? Filled by Ajil also. He might have selected some other option. So which user selected which option? That should be retrieved using the JavaScript or PHP. Okay. So that time we have to identify each and every option uniquely. Okay. Now using other attributes, we did not uniquely identify each and every option, only using the value attribute. So remember here, please listen. The value of the value attribute in option tag, the value of the value attribute in option tag, every option tag in one select tag should be unique, should not be repeated. For example, here you have given Sydney, or here you are giving option 1. And either also you can't give option 1, here also you can't give option 1. So among here, within the one set of one opening and closing select tag, all the option, each and every option's value should be different. Okay, so this should not be repeated here, this should not be repeated here. Any one of this should not repeat here. Okay, both should be unique. Then only later you can uniquely identify the first option, the second option, or third option. Okay, now we will see how it will be displayed. I refresh. It displayed like this. Look at here. Okay. I will select any one of the options. Okay. Now this is use of list box. Student, somebody unmuted. Can all of you mute? Okay. Now there are other options also, button, okay, file and all, but these are the commonly used attributes. Now we will come to submit and reset. Okay. Students, you are listening the lecture continuously. Okay, are you able to listen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the submit and the reset. No, after I showed that, then I will give either break. Let me decide. Okay. Okay. Copy. And then I'm pasting after select tag. Okay. Now this will create the, first we will see the output and then we will see the code. I refresh. See now submit and reset. These two are buttons. Okay. After end user entered all these fields, for example, username, I'm entering my name, and address, I am giving my residential address. Password, I'm giving my password. I'm selecting this female and then I'm selecting cricket. Anyway, all the three I don't, but I'm selecting this, assume. And here I assume that India is there. I'm selecting that as an option. And at last what the user will do, he will submit. To submit the form, to submit all these data, whatever he entered, no, it should go to where it has to go. Okay. Why I'm saying like this? Because sometimes, no, by taking all these values, you will do some processing and then it will be stored in the server. Or otherwise, directly it may go to server. So, whatever the developer aim to create the form fields, that should be done after you click the submit button. You will click the submit button. Okay, now after I click the submit button, it is being there in the same page because students, I am entering some data here, but that's useless because I did not create the meaningful. I did not connect with the JavaScript or so. Just I'm showing whatever you are entering will not matter here. Now, if you submit, no, whatever you selected, entered here, everything will go to the destination place when after you click the submit button. Okay, until there it will not go there anywhere. It will be here only. So once if I click the submit button, usually what will happen, it will go to some other file, destination file. But for in my form, it is going to the same file. Now this is my file. Okay, if I click submit, again the same page is getting displayed. Okay, why it is so? The one reason is I have created only dummy form, so I did not give the destination page. But if I create a destination page, what are the attributes should be added? Just I am saying that. Okay. Within the form tag, students, please listen. I am adding these attributes only added the submit and reset button. Submit button especially. Okay. After I added the submit button only, what? I am writing the attribute. That means if submit button, without submit button, no form will be there. That is another one. Okay. But without submit button, there is no necessary for these attributes which I am going to add. Okay. Once submit button is there, I have to say which is my destination page. Okay. So how I can say which is my destination page? Using the action attribute. Action is an attribute. Remember, action is an attribute of which tag? Form tag. So within the form tag, I am writing action. 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 Okay. In this action, I can give destination page. But right now we did not create any destination page. Let me see any other files are there, then that page we can give. We have another file called bookmark anchor. Okay, so I have to write this path in the code. Okay, what is the name of the file? Bookmark anchor, B capital, A capital. Okay. So as this file right now I have, but it is a HTML file only. Okay, we usually give PHP server file here, .php file. But just I want to show you this, that's why I'm giving this. Again, this is also a HTML file. Okay. Mark file name. A should be capital. Okay. But what is the extension of this file? .html. Okay. So this is a path I have given. Okay. And then one more attribute I am adding. Students, action is one attribute which I added in the form tag. What is the use of the action? Because after I click submit button, where it has to go, that destination page I am giving using action attribute. I have to add actually another attribute which is method. Okay. So method equal to, I can give post. There are two options. I can give post or get. Okay, we will see the difference between post and get. Now simply remember, if the form has more controls like this, and also any password box. Password is the sensitive data, no? Okay, so it should be secure. Okay, so sensitive data, if any sensitive data if you use within the form, then you have to use post method. Okay. There are more number of controls are there in the form. So more data should be carried or any sensitive data is there in the form, we will use post method. Okay. Otherwise, we can use get method. Okay. If we use get method, why we should not use sensitive data? Because when you click the submit button, assume that here you use get method. Okay. But here in our form, we have password, which is sensitive data. Okay. when we use get method, what will happen when you click submit button? In the address bar, what password you have typed, that will be visible. Okay, so there is no security over there. So when we should not use what? Get method when we use what? When we use the sensitive data in the form. Okay. So here I used, here I have used post method. Okay. I just save. I save this file. Oh, I added here. I have to add in Word file, isn't it? Sorry, I have to add in this Notepad+. I just close this. I open Notepad and I'm adding those two attributes that I have to add in the form tag. Okay, within the form tag, I have to add two attributes. Okay. Okay, I just save. Let me see the output. I refresh and coming down, scrolling down. Okay, now I click submit. It is not in that page. I have given link. So it is redirected to some other page. Okay, which page it got redirected? It redirected to the folder which I had that file. Okay, wait a second. When I would have used this destination page. Let me try. Yes. Yes. Okay. But next I have TY lecture. Till 12:30 only I plan to take. Okay. So that's all. Now this is not the break. I'm ending the lecture. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Students asked you, one of you asked, so I updated the WP notes in the files. Okay, the files folder in MS Teams. So for examples, you can refer that. Okay. Okay, thank you,
Yes,
students. Students, those for name changes there, everybody sent a message to me, no? You forwarded the PDF to me, right? Hereafter, name correction will not be accepted. Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Bye,
students.
ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, students. Thank you.